Welcome to Keto on the Couch, episode 167.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you are new here, say hi in the chat.
Now here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and then every Monday we go live on Keto on the Couch where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time the doorbell rings on Monday, you'll be alerted to it.
Welcome to Keto on the Couch. Do not adjust the color on your television. Yes, I am red.
You are.
And tan. And
you're Calico Joe.
So, yeah, I worked 13 lacrosse games this weekend.
How many miles was that?
Over 20.
Wow.
Over 20.
Super impressed.
So two straight days of 7 hours on the field. The on-field temperature was 120 degrees.
Does it make you
Thankful
feel...
for Redmond Relight and Element.
Oh, seriously. Does it make you feel good that, like, Anthony, who is 21 years old, going to be 22 this year, is, like, the same with you? Like, you're the same with him, maybe.
Yeah.
I could say. Like, you kept up with him.
You know what makes me feel good is that I did... all those games this weekend and went over 20 miles, and I can walk today.
That is a super
Talk about a
duper
non-scale victory. In the
victory.
past, I would be in bed for 3 days right now.
Yeah.
I would have to crawl to the bathroom and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So welcome to Keto on the Couch. We have a sponsor for today's Keto on the Couch. It is Perfect Keto.
I just drank some of that this morning.
Yeah, I pulled out Rachel's 3 favorites. Peanut butter, and peanut butter.
Peanut butter. I slightly like peanut butter.
So Perfect Keto is having a Memorial Day sale. There's a link down below, and you can get up to 40% off. So it's a stacked sale. Like, the more items you buy, the more you save. And I think it's if you buy 5 or more items, you get 40% off. So
I see Rickwin is going to the dentist today.
So are you.
And so am I. I hope your dental appointment goes really well.
Yeah. So anyway, Perfect Keto stuff. What are our favorite things? MC2L powder. Rachel likes the peanut butter. I also like salted caramel. The peanut butter and the strawberry collagen, and then Nola bars and the peanut butter ones are our favorite ones. So if you're interested if you need to save some money, it's a great way to save money is stock up when they have sales. Use the link down below. It does support Two Crazy Ketos, and Perfect Keto is a huge supporter of Two Crazy Ketos. So we appreciate you guys for supporting the sponsors who support us. So if you are new here, if you've never seen the Keto on the Couch before, the way we do this is all about subscribers. We used to film it. But that was a lot of editing, and so we decided to start doing it live. So we're going through our normal Keto on the Couch, and then we address the chat afterwards. If you have a question regarding something that we are talking about, like while we're going through everything, use the super chat function down below. It's a great way to support us, and also it gets our attention because it highlights our screen that you have a question. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's just check through this chat real quick and see if we see anything.
I saw Carrie's in like the hundreds of days without caffeine.
Yeah.
Way to go. Super excited about
Betsy's
that.
here, said she's going to be listening. Audio, any level is okay. Meters only show.
They were talking about what's
used.
a good ketone reading.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that later on. So, okay, let's get right into Keto on the Couch. And we're going to start off with our Keto College Adjunct Professor Week. It is from Rita. She put this up and said, someone here needs to hear this today.
I think I'm the person.
And it said, what to tell myself when I'm feeling discouraged. This is tough, but so am I. I might not be able to control the situation, but I am in charge of how I respond.
Ooh, that's good.
Number 3, I haven't figured this out yet. Number 4, this challenge is here to teach me something. Number 5, all I need to do is take it one step at a time, breathe, and do the next right thing.
I love that so much. I don't know which one I like the most. I think maybe number 5 is one that could help me moment to moment, just breathe.
Right.
My watch tells me that all the time.
Right.
That is something that I do. If I'm like stressed out in the moment, it's like I almost gasp. And like, I just need to breathe and not worry about getting everything right. I need to make the next good decision that is right before me. Yeah. I love that thought.
Speaking of your watch, it's funny, Rachel used to complain all the time. She'd be standing and it would say you need to stand up.
And I'm like, I'm already standing.
But the thing about that is what they really are trying to tell you is you should be moving.
Do something different
Because
than what you're doing right now.
A lot of people are switching to standing desks thinking like, hey, I'm going to get more activity. But if you're just standing at your desk all day, it's no different than sitting.
Right.
You end up getting into that same monotonous routine and your body doesn't benefit. So what you really want to be doing is when your watch says stand, if you're already standing, move.
Yeah, move around.
If you're sitting, get up and move around.
Or
Every hour, move for 5 to 10 minutes.
It has really helped me. I've been kind of practicing that lately, and it has really helped me just clear my head. If you have a pet, they will help you leverage that to the most, right? If you're home, maybe you're working from home even, and you have a pet, go take that pet on a walk. Tabitha's always glad when I get that message now because we going somewhere, right? We're gonna walk around the block, just kind of breathe in some air, get some sunshine, and then get back to it.
Dennis and Joe and Rachel, you guys are awesome when you promote the electrolytes. If I had done those 10 years ago, I would be much better than I am today. Keep doing what you do so well.
Thanks so much, Dennis.
Listen, about promoting the electrolytes, it's important.
It is.
And I never realized how important it was until I really started officiating. But that was a long time ago. And back then it was, Gatorade and stuff. And then I started researching and finding out Gatorade is bad for you. Gatorade actually causes you to dehydrate more.
Right.
They're just really, really, really good at marketing. That's what they are. They're good at marketing. But over this I use them. In the last 3 days, I have had almost an entire box of Redmond and Element combined. I've had probably 25 to 30 packets since Friday morning.
But I mean, we live in South Florida and it is hot, and we have seen lots of officials and kids collapse, just absolutely collapse. And I have experienced like an actual going to emergency because I am dehydrated. And this was before we were aware of electrolytes and the necessity. And it was all about just drink more water, and not realizing that we were actually, diluting the electrolytes that we had in our body.
I probably shouldn't say that because if like my doctor is watching, probably be like, that's 30,000 milligrams of sodium. But guess what? I'm still craving salt. So it means I still need more.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the next one. We're going to start off with one of our subscriber of the weeks. We actually have a few of them this week. First one is Naturally Queen Robinson.
Naturally Queen.
Said, hello all, I've been part of the 2KK family for a really long time, and I feel it's time I share my story. You see, this year I began keto for the second time. My first time on keto, I had great success and I lost 100 pounds, but I had one major downfall. I looked at keto as a diet.
Yeah.
I thought after having so much major success, surely I could eat whatever I wanted, right? After all, I wasn't putting the weight back on in a significant way. I used that excuse that I had lost so much, and I still looked good while eating non-keto foods. However, looking good and being good are two different things.
Wow, that's powerful.
I went to the doctor a few months ago and found out that I was so far from good. The junk that I reintroduced was destroying my health. At the moment, I knew that I had to get back to keto. And I knew it could no longer be just a diet for me. If I plan to be here for my daughter, which I do,
so good.
I have to take hold of my health and live my ketogenic lifestyle. Here's to reversing health and living the good.
Oh my gracious. Look how gorgeous. Way to go. And thank you for that reminder. If scheduling your labs to see what's going to go on internally on a regular basis can help you be successful, do that.
Yeah.
That is a great investment, right? Because there's a lot of things that we can do to fool ourselves as far as like what we see on the inside, on the outside, and what we think maybe we're getting away with, but the labs don't lie, yo. Like they will tell you what is the truth. And I think that may be a powerful motivator if you know, hey, on a regular basis, I'm going to have to face the blood work. Yeah. Then I think that would help you stay on track.
Yeah. Next one is from Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Scott said, I reached my vacation goal a month early. Today is 10 months on keto. I'm down 125 pounds from 475 to 350. So my new vacation goal is another 10 pounds before we go to Hawaii in a month. Thank you for all your warm welcome to the group and for your support. I love reading everyone's posts. Our successes and our struggles inspire each other. Happy Saturday, all. Edited, I wanted to add a photo with my much better half. She is down 25 pounds. Wow. Also, non-scale victory. The green shirt I'm wearing, attending a friend's wedding today I haven't been able to fit into in 6 years.
Oh, Scott, you look incredible. I love that. Practice makes progress. That is such a powerful reminder. You and your beautiful better half, right, look so good. I am so stinking proud of you, and we're so thankful for you in our Facebook family group. I love seeing your posts. You're just a very encouraging person, and I'm thankful for you. And also, thanks so much to Crazy Ketos family for making new people feel welcome, because that's just not our job, right? That's everybody's job. So thanks for doing that, guys.
Right. Shauna had a thing in the chat, said, so I think I might not be able to eat cabbage. I made fried cabbage and I'm up today. We'll try one more time before I cry.
I blowed on it.
It's okay to eat cabbage. Listen, here's the thing. If you're like us and you're eating 99% meat and only eating vegetables once in a while, you do begin to lose some of the bacteria, the gut biome, that helps break down those vegetables. But if you were to reintroduce vegetables,
yes,
then your body would once again get them if you're feeding them with probiotics and prebiotics. If you enjoy it, have it once in a while. Just know you may bloat. You're not gaining fat. You're gaining a little bit of bloat from the cabbage, but then in the next day or by the end of the day, it's gonna go away. We love Brussels sprouts, which is cabbage, and it does bloat us once in a while. Did we eat a whole bag of them over 3 days the last few days? Yeah, because we found them and they were like this big.
Ooh, they were
and
so
we're like,
nice and plump.
So we cut them in quarters and we fry them up with some bacon grease and some bacon. And then just know that, hey, I may experience a little bit of bloat, but I'm okay with that. You're not gaining fat. Don't freak out about it. But if you eat them on a regular basis, that kind of stuff would go away. It's the same thing with dairy. Dr. Sai was just talked about that, where if you stop eating dairy, you start losing some of the enzymes to break it down. But if you were to reintroduce dairy, your body would rebuild them up
Now,
again.
will I be eating Brussels sprouts tonight before our staff dinner tomorrow?
Right.
No, I will not, because I don't want to be...
They don't just bring bloat for us.
Fartastic at the staff dinner. So you got to know yourself a little bit. What interacts with you?
Next one is from Beth.
Hey, Beth.
Beth said, by January of 2021, I was at my lowest point, but my highest weight. And I have edited this down a little bit.
Wow.
And was so tired of the sadness, the guilt, the shame, the aches, the pains, and the growing health concerns. I spent 6 weeks researching and absorbing everything I could from keto experts like Dr. Barry, Dr. Sideways, Amy Berger, Dr. Westman, and 2 Crazy Ketos.
Thanks for letting us be in that.
By March 1st of 2021, I was ready and eager to commit to my keto way of life. Not a diet, not even an event-driven goal.
Ooh, that's good.
But a new way of eating that I had no end date. It definitely, I didn't.
It's just the dentist,
I
not
didn't
Becky.
lose quickly, but steadily, and I went from a starting weight of 238 to a current weight of 161. I evolved naturally from 3 keto meals a day to 2 a day to OMAD, and then ketovore and now carnivore, 1 to 2 meals a day. And I just completely lost all interest in veggies. I'm still away from my goal weight, but trying to focus on the joy of everyday journey and the many accomplishments so far. Complete removal of health concerns, as well as many non-scale victories, including confidence, high energy, terrific sleep, new clothes, and not to mention a jawline and a collarbones. Never underestimate the power of a collarbone.
Yeah, I love having a collarbone and that you could see.
I consider my greatest non-scale victory to be my 82-year-old diabetic mother making the decision to go keto in March of this year, 1 year after I did. She is loving the food, steadily losing weight. Her blood work and numbers are steadily improving, and she has already lost the pain from her arthritic hands and hips.
Wow.
I'm still working on my siblings and close friends, and as well as an ongoing battle with my doctor over LDL and cholesterol. I'm not taking that statin drug.
Wow, Beth. Oh, Beth! You look incredible. And okay, can we just stop for a moment and look at that swagger? Like, I just love the way that she looks, and she just, it's like, like there's a confidence coming through when it's like in her jean jacket, like, yes, this is me now.
Right.
I love it. And for your mom to be on it too and be in her 80s experiencing a reduction in pain, right? We think that when we get older, it's gonna hurt more. The fact that that does not have to be true is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with the YouTube comments.
Happy Monday. We've got the grandpuppy staying with us. You'll probably, hear pitter pat. She's definitely like a patrol person. She likes to always be patrolling the perimeter. And if we put her in the other room like we will do Tabitha, she will just be like, "Where's my grandmother?"
First one is from Brianna.
Hey, Brianna.
Brianna said, "You guys made me cry just now.
Aww.
I've really been struggling recently, and I've gained enough weight in the past few weeks that my clothes don't fit. I know what to do, but the harder I try, the harder it gets. It's sugar addiction. I have to just stop.
Yeah.
Again, I know that I am strong, but this addiction keeps telling me that I am weak. Thank you for reminding me this morning that I am stronger than I think.
Wow.
Today is a new day, and the strong me is in charge again to get me through until I go to bed tonight."
That is so stinking true, Brianna. I love that. Thank you. I have to remind myself that all the time. And I'm a huge advocate of writing down little reminders and posting them around the house in key places where I know I'm going to see them in a stress moment, right? Mm-hmm. Like I have things on my refrigerator. I have things in my office reminding me who I am, and not just letting, this kind of battlefield going on constantly with, cues and cravings, tell me who I am. I know who I am.
Right.
Right? And I am stronger than I think. I love that. Thanks, Brianna.
Next one is from Lillian.
Hey, Lillian. Yes, Rachel. I used to be able to eat a bag of chips and Doritos. Could you guys talk a little bit more about those dirty food manufacturers and the bliss point of strategically laboratory manipulated carbs? I used to think there was something wrong with me, but little did I know I was being intentionally, covertly addicted. Yeah, it talks a lot about basically bliss point in Atomic Habits. If you haven't read that book, I think that keto or non-keto, there's some real eye-opening facts that comes out. There's scientists working very hard to make sure that they are, advertising to your senses.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, and when you talk about strategically laboratory manipulated carbs, it's not even that they're going in and altering the foods and like, the basic carbohydrates. They're just finding the perfect combination. What is the perfect combination of sugar to fat?
Mouthful.
How much sugar can we make it where you absolutely have to have that? You even see it with coffee, like why do we crave Starbucks for the people who do? Like you meet people who it has to be Starbucks. Well, a lot of times, they think that Starbucks has more caffeine in it. So there's different things that they can do to make you crave that even more when it comes down to what is the texture of it? How does it taste in your mouth?
Smell.
What does it smell like? I am definitely a visual person. We will even make recipes and go, listen, this does not look appetizing, but it tastes good. But if it doesn't look appetizing, sometimes you don't want it. I mean, how much money does McDonald's spend on those pictures?
Oh, yeah.
For their commercials. It's not even real food, right? It's a lot of time covered in polyurethane, but it makes you want it. And so it's something we have to be aware of. And the more you switch over to eating just a whole food diet, the more you realize like, oh, wow, like there was actually a lot of deliciousness in beef and bacon and eggs and things like that, but we've been tricked to thinking everything has to have sugar.
How many times have you walked past a place where they're really pumping out a smell? That happens a lot, like when we were in Disney World. I can remember us being like so attracted to like a funnel cake or, some kind of a waffle bowl or something for ice cream. And then you eat it and you're like, I mean, it's pretty good, but it is not equal to my sensory overload when I smelled it, right? I mean, it's just amazing what they're pumping out.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I was in Aldi on Saturday, and I was like, oh, German pickles, and I pick up the second ingredient is sugar.
Yeah.
So why are they putting sugar in? They're not supposed to be sweet. They weren't like sweet and sour pickles or, bread pickles or anything. They were supposed to be German pickles, but they're adding sugar to make you want them more, to keep buying them and buying them and buying them. Next one is from Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie.
Jeannie said, my first time watching, I've been keto for several years and I am still not where I need to be, but I'm going to do it. I think I'm having too many keto approved snacks. On Trulicity, and my A1C has dropped from 9 to 7, but I'm just not losing the weight I need to lose. I love that I've found you.
I love that we found you, Jeannie. And yeah, I would have to, you already know what you think is the problem.
Right.
Move forward with that.
Right.
Because your gut is telling you the right thing there, I think.
And this is why, and I know we get a lot of hate for it, but we strongly advocate for having, at minimum, a total carb cap.
Yeah.
If you want to follow net carbs and say, like, I'm going to deduct fibers, which I would never recommend unless it's a fiber from a vegetable or something like that, but any kind of packaged product, I would not be deducting the fiber. If you want to deduct, sugar, alcohols, fine. But have a total carb cap, because that will help you to not overeat keto treats, whether they are prepackaged things or there's something that you make at home. If you make your own ice cream or you make your own mug cakes or something like that, if you have a total carb cap, you will end up having to limit yourself, and that will only help your journey. The bottom line is, and I will get hate for this, net carbs is a made-up thing. It was made up by Atkins in the food industry to sell more Atkins products, because people were trying to, watch their carbs, but they're like, hey, what can we do? The bottom line is it's free to do keto, right?
Yeah.
Technically, it's free to do Atkins. It's free. You don't have to buy anything. So what do they do is you come up with products. And again, we work with a couple of companies, and that's why we're very selective who companies we work with. They've got to be good quality products, but they come up with products and then be like, well, now how do we sell it to you? Well, if you can't eat this kind of stuff, let's make up a way where you can deduct things.
Let's make carbs disappear.
The more popular keto has gotten, the more you see janky stuff. When you go into the store and see, low carb tortillas that actually have more total carbs than the non-low carb ones.
Right.
Why? They're higher in fiber. Well, they're playing games. Soluble corn fiber, things like that. There are certain fibers you just cannot be deducting, but they list it as a fiber and say, go ahead and deduct it. So have a total carb cap. That will really help you. What was this one?
Hey,
Haley, thank
Haley.
you very much for being a channel member
3 months strong.
6 months.
And 3 months strong. Awesome.
That's kind of weird.
I
It says you've been a channel member for 3 months.
I saw Robin has a birthday. Can we sing happy birthday really quickly?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robin. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
Next one's from Rihanna.
Hey, Rhiannon. I'm having the hardest time without weight loss, and I have good friends that push carbs. It really messed with my mind back in February and March, and I just gave up and gave in. Now I'm just taking it one day at a time like an addict and trying not to focus on weight loss, but just how I feel and healing the damage. When I focus on weight loss, I just get upset and frustrated. I watch the people that have it easy, like my hubby who had his weight and fat just basically melt off, and I just want to give up. So now I'm trying to be like a horse with blinders and focus on one step in front of me at a time and not look too far to the left and right at the distractions. I think that that's really powerful. We talked about this past week with Atomic Habits and how sometimes we've got to take a friend inventory and see, do we need to shift our experiences with certain friends? If there are friends that you know that every single time you go out with them, you're going to eat carbs, then my advice would be go bowling with them instead of going to a restaurant with them. Go goonie golfing with them instead of going to a restaurant with them. You go for a walk, meet at a park, do something active, because if time and time again, these particular friends always push you in the direction of carbs and you're trying to stay keto so desperately, then don't make it harder on yourself.
Right.
Make it easier. And I'm not saying like get rid of these friends. I'm saying do something differently with
Well,
them.
I'm going to actually take that a step further.
Uh-oh.
And say, if you have friends who are nothing but a hindrance to you, not just in your keto lifestyle, but in general, you might want to move along. Okay, I remember years ago, I watched a phenomenal series from a pastor in Texas, and he talked about friends and relationships.
Yes.
And you should have a circle. And so
Like a target.
And so it's like you have your innermost friends, the people who support you no matter what, who have the same beliefs of you, who support you on your diet, who are never negative. Those are the inner circle. And then you have like these outer circles. And if you have somebody who maybe you've been friends with a long time, but every interaction with them is a negative interaction, If you want to have a relationship with them, fine, but they should be far out. You shouldn't be confiding in them. You shouldn't be spending most of your time with them. You know, and that could include family members.
Yes.
You have to come first. If you allow other people in your life that are going to constantly be negative, that's going to affect you. So I'm not saying like alienate your family members and alienate your friends, but if you have friends who are not helping you along in your journey, kind of put them outside a little bit and find other people that will help you and get them closer in your friend circle. Next one is from Misty Blue.
Hey, Misty.
Said, you guys are amazing teachers. I'm 74 and doing keto successfully with your help. I'm able to move so much easier now in my wheelchair, and now I'm getting my regular one much more than my electric wheelchair.
Oh, that's
This
good.
is great. Thank you for your helpful videos. Love to you both. Gloria.
Oh, Gloria, thank you so much. And that, what a powerful statement. I really believe that is going to truly bless somebody today. So a big non-scale victory is she is using her regular wheelchair more than her electric wheelchair, and she is celebrating that. If you do not need a wheelchair at all, then I am going to move more. I'm going to partner with Gloria. If she can start to do more fitness right where she's at, what excuse do I have?
Right.
I am mobile, and I can become more mobile. I can increase my mobility from where I am right now if Gloria can do it.
Yep.
Right? I love it.
Esther had this comment up.
Hey,
said,
Esther.
I'm trying to only use the Relight and Element that I have, but even on a cooler day in the hot food trailer yesterday, I woke up with minor leg cramps. I had an electrolyte element the day before. You may need more. And it doesn't have to just be electrolytes. Make sure you're salting your food more. I had seen something on one of the Facebook groups. They were talking about how somebody had said something about using Redmond, and they're like, well, I use this from Walmart because it was cheaper, and it was pink salt. And the problem is a lot of the pink salt that's sold in this country isn't real Himalayan pink salt. It's faked. It's fake. You know, China can fake a lot. Just as, you know, real true Himalayan pink salt is a good quality salt if you can find it. But that's another whole story.
Put it in a glass of water overnight and see if
is there any minerals in there. Now it is higher in the water sulfur pink generally than, you know, like Redmond. But then you also have to look at like what are the mining practices and all that. But real Himalayan pink salt is up there in money too. So anyway, the person was like, I've had this and it's lasted me 2 years, and it was like 14 ounces. I'm like, if you've been on keto for 2 years and you have not gone through 14 ounces of salt, you're not having enough salt.
Yeah.
You know, you should be eating 1 to 2 teaspoons a day minimum. So if you're having leg cramps, check and make sure, are you salting your food enough? Where's your potassium levels at? You may need more than one element or Redmond a day. Next one is from Gina.
Hey, Gina. Oh my gosh. I just got done watching the very first 2 Crazy Ketos videos. Sorry about that. Super cringy, right? And I loved it. Even though you guys are giving up your ministry, I think you'll reach a lot more people. I can't tell you how many times I've decided to not go off of keto because you guys inspire me so much. Thank you. Gina, I am not going to cry, but I really appreciate that encouragement. Definitely. This was the hardest decision that we've ever had to make as a couple. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to serve children and families. And we truly believe that we're going to have an opportunity to serve more children and families moving forward because we want them to have time together, right? That is very important. It's not just, you know, handling one side of your life. I think that, you know, being healthy helps you. I know that now I'm more intentional as a parent. I'm able to study even the Bible more because my head is not cloudy. You know, I'm able to finish and complete things. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be healthy and live my best life. And we hope we can help other people do that too.
And we do appreciate all of the support and encouragement we've gotten from you guys when we made that announcement. There have been a few hate things. A few people said we're making a bad decision. But it was overwhelmingly supportive, and it meant a lot to us because, again, it was a hard decision. Let's go ahead and take a quick fade to black and come back with Facebook.
What's for breakfast this morning? Have you had breakfast or you're planning breakfast?
We already ate breakfast.
We ate breakfast.
I made a carnivore mug cake.
It's delicious. That recipe's coming out this week. It's good.
First one is from Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Scott said, I really enjoyed the live yesterday evening. The idea about not punishing yourself with food or exercise. If I have an off-plan day, really hit home for me. And if we really think about it, we already have punished our bodies with the off-plan day. No need to punish them twice. I think this is part of my healing my mind and my relationship with food and my body. Thank you to Crazy Ketos, and thanks to the Two Crazy Ketos family for being so welcoming. You guys are awesome. Happy Friday.
Scott, thanks so much for that. Yeah, I would love if we could practice, and I mean, this is a habit stacking opportunity. Every single time you feel guilty, you have a guilty thought, how about instead of giving in and like punishing ourselves in some way, we say, I forgive you for that, and I am going to be successful on keto. Instead of punishing.
Right.
Just allow ourselves, when that moment comes of guilt and we want to condemn ourselves and we want to punish ourselves, here's the punishment. Rachel, I forgive you. And we are just gonna continue ketoing on. And I am not going to react in some drastic way. I'm just gonna say, I love you, Rachel, and move on.
Yeah. Now, if you missed what he was talking about, is on Thursday's live stream, because I know a lot of people were on the cruise and stuff. On Thursday's live stream, we talked about when you have an off-plan day or an off meal, a lot of times our gut reaction is to let me fast to correct this. Let me go on a fast. Let me not eat. Let me do something to correct this situation.
Yeah.
And we're going to strongly encourage you, do not do that. That is a binge and purge mentality. That is very similar to somebody who would eat a whole bunch of, like food and then go and regurgitate. It's the same thing. It's, I'm going to enjoy this in the moment, and now I have to fix this, so let me go fast. And that's a dangerous place to get. If you have an off-plan meal or an off-plan day, the best thing to do is the next meal, the next day, eat exactly the way you would normally eat on keto.
Yeah.
Act like it didn't happen, but don't punish yourself for it. You will actually help yourself more that way than having a binge and purge mentality. And I'm not even talking about, like, you don't even want to get to the point where you're like, well, I want to get it back into ketosis faster. It's a bad idea. It's just, and we're guilty of that kind of stuff. And so we're speaking from experience. You just don't want to get into this idea of like, oh, I ate too much food today, so I'm going to fast tomorrow.
It becomes a very dangerous cycle, and I'm going to tell you right now, somebody needs to hear this. It's not going to give you the long-term success that you want. Even if you see a movement on the scale in the moment or in the day or two, it is not long-term success. You're confusing your body, you're confusing your metabolism, and ultimately, it's going to slow down the process.
It's like, I'm up 5 pounds today from Friday. Okay, now, I did not eat that much. Why am I up 5 pounds? Look at my sun exposure. And I walked and ran over 20 miles. I've got a bit of inflammation today. So my old gut reaction would be, I'm fasting today.
Right.
I've got to fix this. But I know that there's no way I could have gained 5 pounds in 2 days.
No.
That's for fat. And I know that it's just a result of inflammation, and that will go away as I heal. Like by Wednesday, this will all be a tan. I don't even get really into the peeling anything. My ankle will have healed a little bit from any kind of inflammation, and it'll be all good. But you just got to make sure you don't get into a binge and purge mentality.
Give it time. We have to give it time too.
Yep.
So you're not having to do it by yourself.
Next one's from Julie.
Hey, Julie, feeling run down today. Went and got some Gator Light for the electrolytes, but still feel headachy. I assume this will pass. Started keto April 22nd. Well,
Okay.
Welcome, Julie.
So I put this in here. We talked about it earlier. Please do not use Gatorade, Gatorade Zero, Powerade, Powerade Zero, Gator Light, which is a new product that they have.
Yeah.
Do not use that for electrolytes. First of all, standard Gatorade, don't give it to your kids or your grandkids. It actually dehydrates them more. It's got so much sugar, it's ridiculous. Getting into Powerade Zero and Gatorade Zero, they actually add in stuff to make it thicker. There are carbs in it. it doesn't give you much electrolytes at all. I mean, go look at the sodium and potassium on there. We did a video on this a long time ago, and the fact that in order to get 1,000 milligrams of potassium out of Gatorade, you need to drink 32 servings.
That's a lot.
And it works out to be like 17 carbohydrates. There's real no benefit at all to drinking Gatorade. Gator Light is a new product that is actually being marketed to keto people. There is still a whole bunch of sugar in there. It's got more electrolytes than Gatorade.
Right.
But it's still got a lot of sugar in it.
They're in business to make money. And if they're good at what they do, they will. And they're going to snag a lot of people in the keto community because they're going to put out a product that's going to be inexpensive and very accessible because they can market it and they can roll it out into all of the grocery stores. That doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it healthy.
Yeah. Salt your food. Eat some high potassium foods. Use products like Redmond Relight Element or the Keto Chow Electrolyte Drops. And you can even make your own. I'm too lazy to make my own, but you can use a good high quality salt like Redmond, and you can buy no salt. Dr. Barry has a video. Maybe we'll make that one day on how to make your own. I'm just too lazy to do that.
Right.
And by the time I put everything together, it's costing me almost as much money than it would be to use Redmond. But Keto Chow Drops are super cheap. They're super cheap. When we did that video on comparing electrolyte drops, it is the absolute cheapest way, other than going and buying all the components and making your own stuff. It is the cheapest way to get your electrolytes in. And you can put it into anything. Water, on your food, whatever you want. Next one is from Barbio.
Hey, Barbio, is it true that if you have your gallbladder removed, keto won't work for you? Maybe this is why I struggle to lose weight.
Real quick, no, it is not true. I see this posted a lot, which is why I put it in this week's Keto on the Couch. I left a link down below in the description for a video from Dr. Barry. Since we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals, he is. And he talks about how to do keto without a gallbladder. You can absolutely do keto without a gallbladder. We have several subscribers who do it. One of Rachel's closest friends is doing keto without a gallbladder. You just have to change things up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Next one is from David.
Hey, David.
Said, maybe someone can help me figure out why my blood ketones always seem so low now. I just finished a 72-hour fast and I'm very active at work and off work. My blood ketones always seem to be 0.5 millimoles. And when I do eat, it's OMAD. I'm fasting 22 hours Monday through Friday. On the weekend, usually a 2MAD. Keto over a year, normal low BMI, low body fat. Is it because I'm requiring glucose because of activity? Activity could always spike up your glucose a little bit, even if you're fasting. You see this especially with guys. Okay, you will see with Keto Savage. You will see it with Goody Beats. Sometimes you just don't have high ketones. That doesn't mean you're not in ketosis. Don't chase numbers, okay? This whole idea, listen, we work with Keto Mojo. I think that they are a great company. This whole idea of you have to have this number is also a way to help us want to buy machines. And not just from them, but from other things. If you have ketones in your blood, then your body is making ketones.
Boom.
Bottom line, okay? The ketones that you are measuring in your blood are excess ketones that your body has not used. If you've got, let's say you've got a 1.0, ketone level, and you go for a run and lift some weights, it's gonna be lower when you get home.
Yeah.
Because you will have utilized those ketones. If you eat something like MCT oil or something that will naturally boost your ketones will go up because your body turns them right into ketones. High ketones does not equate to faster or more weight loss. So you only really need to have high ketones if you're doing therapeutic keto for like cognitive function or epilepsy or something like that.
For most of us, I was just thinking that, for most of us, again, not on therapeutic levels of ketones, but for most of us, this class is pass fail. That's what it is. What you're looking for is not a specific number. Like, I'll take a class and I'm going for a percentage, right? Like I'm looking for 95% or 99%. But this having ketones thing, it's a pass fail. You either do or you don't. You either have 0.1 or you have 0. It's like if you are only eating keto food, you are in ketosis.
If you're not giving your body carbohydrates, your body has no choice but to use fat for fuel and occasionally make some glucose through gluconeogenesis, which, by the way, isn't just using protein. Will also use your muscle and even fatty acids. It makes it when it needs it. That's why there is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. But your body also learns to directly use the fat for fuel. And the longer you are on keto, the more that happens, where the only way you get the high ketones is either eating very fatty and certain types of foods or fasting for extended periods of time. But I would not worry about having high ketones. A high GKI does not mean more weight loss. It just doesn't. Some of it comes down to selling machines. I have talked to the owners of Keto Mojo. When we were in Utah, we were talking to them, and they were like, they tell people, stop chasing numbers, and people will message them, and they'll say, listen, my machine's not for you then. If you are looking for just always having to have that high number because you need something that's going to tell you you're okay.
Right.
We may not be for you. This is a tool that really will help you if you're in a challenge or if you're first getting started. But the longer you do it, you don't even need to worry about it. Dr. Berry talks about you don't need to check your ketones. We check them maybe once a month. You just don't need to check them. Next one is from Nicolette.
Hey, Nicolette, started BBBNE today. I put my food into Chronometer just to check, and my protein is 130, but my fat is 163, and carbs at 10. Trying to stick with 1-to-1. What can I eat to increase protein and not fat? Breakfast was coffee with 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 egg. Later had 3 eggs and a ½ pound ground pork sausage. This is where all that fat comes from. Dinner, I plan on 2 1/4 pound burger patties and 3 hard-boiled eggs.
Okay, let's start off with what can you eat to increase protein and not fat? Lean foods like beef, chicken breast, shrimp, salmon. Some salmons are fattier than others. So some of the lower fat salmons, tuna fish. There's lots of things that you can eat that are high in protein but low in fat. Second, you talk about eating ground pork sausage and burgers. Are you eating every drop of fat that is in the pan when you cook that? If not, don't worry about it. It means you're not consuming as much fat as you think you are.
Right.
Number 3, if you're doing real beef, butter, bacon, and egg, you do not need to be worrying about 1-to-1 ratio. The whole idea of beef, butter, bacon, and egg is you don't have to think about anything. You eat nothing but beef, butter, bacon, and egg as much as you want, as many times a day as you want. Now you will, but to satiety. And that does not mean every time you walk past the refrigerator, eat a slice of bacon. That means you sit down, you eat until you're comfortably full, and then you don't eat again until you're hungry again. And then you sit down and you eat until you're comfortably full, and you will find that you will not be able to eat more than 2 or 3 meals a day.
Right.
Rachel discovered that.
It was a hard lesson to learn.
Next level beef, butter, bacon, and egg is limiting yourself to a 6-hour eating window. That is next level. We don't talk about that because you don't need to do it. That's playing on the expert level of a video game.
That's right.
We don't need to do that. But if you're doing beef, butter, bacon, egg the proper way,
yes,
you do not need to track anything. You don't need to worry about 1-to-1 because you're going to end up being 1-to-1 somewhere along the way.
I would love to tell you that is the case. Don't worry about it if you're eating any keto food. But I cannot tell you that.
The more you eat and the more you introduce, the more you have to look at
you
stuff.
get variety, or you get like the fullness of beef, butter, bacon, and egg. You either keep it simple or you want variety. So you have to kind of decide what is it that you want.
Okay. I just saw a message and I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna find it so I can put it up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to read it from up here.
Okay.
Diane had a question said, can you address an A1C going up on keto? Okay? We are not doctors or nurses or health professionals, but I can tell you what Dr. Berry said at Utah. If your A1C is going up on keto, you're not doing keto properly.
So you could go back and look at on the keto
with
chow.
With a very, very tiny percentage that they may not keep.
If you look at the keto chow, their channel and you look for Dr. Barry speaking at Keto Salt Lake, then you can watch that entire talk and he speaks about it.
Yeah.
Which is great. He's so much better at answering that kind of question than you are.
You may, if your A1C is going up, you may have to lower your carbs even more.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're eating it properly, and a lot of us included, think we're doing it properly, but we're not. We're allowing stuff in that we're not tracking. We're eating too much heavy whipping cream. We're having condiments that we're not really paying attention. Like, oh, it's only a little bit. But you can have a lot of carb creep. Assume everything other than like something like beef or chicken that you've cooked, like I'm not talking about going to a restaurant or anything like that, but you go buy a piece of beef, you go buy a chicken breast, assume everything you put in your mouth has at least one carb. That's one of the easiest things that's gonna make, if it says 0 on a label, if you're using Element or Redmond, if it says 0, assume it's 1.
I'd also ask, are you getting sleep? And are you also practicing stress management? Because those things do affect you also.
Yep.
All of those things.
Next one's from Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Mary said, so I did a thing last night, a non-scale victory of sorts. In my 30s and 40s, I was an avid hockey fan with season tickets 2 to 3 games a week. Then I stopped about 20 years ago when I took a job working nights and weekends. I'm retired now, 2+ years into my keto journey. And hockey playoffs are in full swing. I thought, what the heck? Why not give up? I'll get up and go to a game by myself. My previous seats were in the first row of the arena, which required no stairs and little effort to get to. Last night, I bought my tickets here. I have a picture of it. Without even giving any thought to elevators or escalators.
Wow.
I climbed right up. Oh, and knew I would never truly be alone. I had to know someone. My cousins ended up sitting just a few rows ahead of me.
How nice. Oh, wow. That is so stinking awesome, Mary. How wonderful. Look at the big smiles on everybody's faces because they're together. Yes. I mean, we talked about that with Atomic Habits. We need to change what we're planning. If we're concentrating all of our energy on just planning food, we're missing out on what is the real plan. Let's plan activities. Let's plan on enjoying our week, not just planning on how we're going to prepare our food and how many times we're going to go to the grocery store and what we're going to eat. Let's plan on what we're going to do to enjoy our life with our family. How nice.
Yeah. Next one is from Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia. Huge non-sale victory for me today. I've been doing 3 miles in an hour for a while, but have never gotten credit on my Fitbit because I am one to hold on the handles for dear life as my feet move under me at 3 miles an hour. Today, I did the entire hour without grabbing the O-poop handles at all. Wow, Cynthia, the O-poop handle. You know what? You're absolutely right. Sometimes when we were walking through the water park at Volcano Bay, when we're going up and down, those handles were the O-poop handle for me, and probably why there was a difference, even though we were walking the same path, that there was a difference in steps between me and Joe. Right. Even though we were together.
Some of it, I think you don't have your thing calibrated right. You have to add in your height, your weight.
I don't think I move the same way.
One more. This one's from Cindy.
Hey, Cindy.
She said, feelings I've encountered in this health journey, I couldn't pinpoint quite what was causing them. One day I realized it was fear I was feeling, failure of fear. And I thought as I have these feelings, I become stuck thinking I shouldn't feel these scary feelings moving forward. But that was a lie. It's okay to feel scared or fearful. At times, the things that hold us back should propel us forward. Be brave and courageous in the face of fear. We got this. And she put a meme up. It said, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. From Nelson Mandela. That
is such a powerful quote from such an amazing man. And I think that, you know, it is worth us studying these great heroes in history who did things afraid. Like whatever I'm facing, like I'm afraid of, you know, food, or I'm afraid of movement, or I'm afraid of putting myself out, you know, socially. Whatever it is that I am fearful from, studying the fear doesn't make me better at handling it. Right. What I enjoy doing is studying these people like Nelson Mandela who have made amazing strides despite the opposition, because I can anchor to their courage. And when they're saying something to me, it means more, right? Because they've lived it. And I see somebody that is successful in their life and they've done amazing things, and their circumstances were much more formidable than my circumstances. And it gives me a lot of hope for success.
Yeah. Let's jump into the chat real quick. Kel had a question, said, good morning. How many total carbs should we be eating? It's really dependent on you. A good place to start is 20 to 30 total carbs.
That's a great
good place to start. Some people have to eat less. Some people it's 10. Some people can eat more. It depends on where you are in your journey. When we got started doing keto, we did net carbs. Number one, we didn't know better. Number two, there weren't nearly the products that there are now. You didn't have bars. There were no bars. The only thing that was out there was Quest bars.
Right.
Which we didn't have because at the time they were using IMO fiber. And there was the original keto bar. There were no bars on the market. There was no such thing as low carb tortillas. It just didn't exist. So it was a little bit easier back then. But when you first get started, if you go from eating tons of sugar and carbohydrates and wheat and processed food to not eating that,
that's huge.
A lot of people have a lot of
major success
at the beginning, but then the longer you do this, a lot of times you do have to start kind of narrowing it down as you lose more weight. You know, it's like if you're eating 20,000 calories a day and you've been doing that for years, I know that's a ridiculous number, but then cut down to 10,000. Will you probably lose weight? Yes. Will you eventually stop losing weight? Yes, because
your body
10,000 is a lot too much. But, you know, you could be eating 10,000 calories a day. If you just cut out all the sugar for a little while, you're going to lose some weight and inflammation because you've stopped all the sugar. So it's really specific to your body. A good place to start is 20 to 30 total carbohydrates. And then one of the things that we've always done is we would have a dessert day, because we got into the habit of you have to have dessert every single day. So what we would do is say, okay, well, we're going to limit ourselves to 20 total carbs a day, and our dessert day, which was Fridays, that day is allowed 30 or even 40 total carbohydrates, and that was not deducting anything. Even when we do total carbohydrates, we've never allowed ourselves to have more than 20 net carbs. So that's where we talk about that cap. 20 net carbs and then 20 or 30 total carbs. Then you don't go overboard.
I saw somebody had said, are Quest cookies okay? I don't know. Are they? It depends on you.
Right.
Sometimes if it's something that like, cheese is perfectly keto, nuts are perfectly keto, I have to be careful with them. I can't approach certain things the way other people can. If I have to have a keto treat every single day in order for me to like stay good, then I have to investigate that. I've done that with coffee. I remember even like our pastor kind of joking that like Rachel could never give up coffee. And when he said that, I thought, gosh, I believe that about myself. I really could never go a day without coffee. And it was in that moment that I was like inside of me going like, I don't like that there is an ingredient that is kind of the boss of me to the point where everybody around me even knows it. So that's when I went on a personal challenge. Like, I'm going to go a month without coffee and just see what happens. At least on the other side of it, I'm going to be able to say to myself, like, Rachel, you can live without this ingredient, whatever it is.
Right. For us, nuts are not keto.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with an allergy. It's got to do with, I can't control them. I can't control myself with nuts. So nuts are really
very scarce.
They're very scarce. We only will have them if we have something like this.
Contained within one bar.
If we buy them in a little package or we happen to be on a trip or something like that. But you will never come into our house and find a big jar of nuts unless we bought them to make a recipe video.
You're like, how is this not in a keto house?
And it's because it's just, if you have an issue with nightshades, jalapeno peppers are not keto free yet.
Yes.
There's no such thing as a keto food. There's keto friendly foods and what is friendly to your body.
Right.
Okay. Tony said, I
Hey,
slept much
Tony.
better when I was on vacation than at home. Does that mean I need a new mattress? It could be. It could be just you were really relaxed on vacation.
It could be that, right, that you were like able to shut your brain off, and the things that we're constantly stressing that we can't keep our eyes off of, like our phones, where it's just like, I've got to constantly be present. Like on vacation, we allow ourselves to not be present to our phone.
We slept much better when we were in Utah.
Yeah.
And that was in an RV on a mattress.
Yes.
It had nothing to do with the mattress. It had to do with
darkness.
We had the TV off. We were in a different place. We were more relaxed. We were hanging out with friends. I was talking to someone at church yesterday, and she was asking me, what do I think about suntan lotion on her daughter? And I said, I'm against all of the suntan lotions you buy in the store. All these ones that are marketed to us, SPF 100, I think they're all garbage. My personal opinion, okay? Don't sue me. Suntan lotions, copper tone, don't sue me. I think they're garbage. My personal opinion. Why? They've got lots of carcinogenic chemicals in them. If you want to use suntan lotion, make your own. You can make your own with cocoa butter and zinc.
We're going to make some.
We are going to make some. We're going to make a video on it. But she was asking, so I said, cover her up, get her out in the sun a little bit. It's good for her, but cover up her face and stuff like that so she doesn't you don't want her out there getting burnt. And we were talking about that, and we were talking about the sun is good for sleep because you get into, the whole, circadian rhythm. And she was saying like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. I recently fasted all social media for 2 months. And she was like, do you know I slept better during those 2 months? Well, yeah, because we're not exposing ourselves to the screen all day and all night. You allowed your brain to turn off. So there's a lot of things that can help you sleep better.
Oh, I see.
I just need to learn them.
I see Shauna, Air Frying Auntie, is home from the cruise. Everybody's back from the low carb cruise. I'm so thankful that you guys arrived home safely, and it looks like you guys had a great time.
Mary Jane said, just say no to the math.
Yes.
Total carbs for the win. Easy and honest with self. And let's be clear, honesty with self is key.
That, to me, it's my best bet at being successful. Even if you incorporated like one of those low carb tortillas, let's say you get them. We're not a fan of them, but like, let's say you use them. You only gonna get one. If you got a total carb cap on your life that's like 20 or 30 total carbs, you ain't having 5 tortillas. Right? You're going to have one because they have a lot of total carbs. You may not even get one. Some of these ones that are coming out, it's like 35 total carbs in a single tortilla. I've never eaten a single taco in my life.
Right. Tony said, I just went it off. She said, gain no weight on the keto cruise.
Yay!
And she finished the 5K for the first time.
Way to go!
Keto Simple says, sometimes you just have to distance yourself from those who hold you back. It's not easy at all.
I love that profile pic.
You need to.
Super handsome.
Let's see. They also said, I've told people who want to tell me that it's okay to eat what I don't want to eat, with those who no longer drink to just having one drink.
Nurse
That's
Cindy.
something Nurse Cindy talked about.
Had a great talk about that at the
pre-cruise dinner.
The pre-cruise dinner. I'm trying to be like, what would I call that? Speakers? No, it's not that. Talked about like how I have to do what's right for me. Yeah, and you would never tell an alcoholic, well, you're on vacation. So if you're on vacation, just have one or two, like strap it on, right? Like you would never say that. If someone had an addiction to a drug, you wouldn't say to them like one joint, one line of cocaine, that'll be fine. We're partying. It's the weekend. Why not enjoy the weekend? Because it won't end at the weekend. It won't end on a weekend for an alcoholic, and it won't end on the weekend for a carb addict like myself.
Right. Carrie said, I ate breakfast, which was my whole meal for the day. I had some canned mackerel and some salmon, the 2 pieces of steak and ground meat, and 6 eggs over easy with lots of butter.
Delicious.
That sounds good. Future Bree said, Scale Victory finally moving again. 200 on the button, down 24 pounds since December 11th.
That is awesome. That is so stinking awesome.
Julie said, Redmond electrolytes are being delivered today. Ordered the pre-packaged for vacation convenience, and they last longer with humidity here in Oklahoma. Yeah,
so true.
So, we like them we keep them in the tubs in the house.
In my office.
But whenever we're on the road, the packets are easy. If you go in my cooler, I have a whole bunch of them in the front pocket, and I leave them there for whenever I go to games and things like that. So they're twice the price to use the individual sticks.
so
but
convenient.
sometimes you're paying for convenience.
And there is no dealing with humidity at all, because it's like you don't open. They're perfect until you use them. It's perfect.
Tony said, I need to go and watch the videos from last week. Interesting news about the off-plan remedy.
Awesome.
Blanche said, agree, Joe. The all or nothing attitude is always dangerous for me.
Same here.
April said, I needed to hear to not punish myself.
Oh, good, April. I'm so thankful for that. Yes, that is, and again, it's not popular. It's not a popular opinion. I feel like a lot of the opinions that we have might not necessarily be popular, Joe. And that is okay. I would rather you be successful than us be popular. Does that make sense? I never have been good at popularity contests, and that's all right. Nerd for life. I would rather you be successful than me say what is the popular opinion.
Yeah. Amber said, I've been checking my ketones only because my blood sugar levels are being monitored and also because my body is not losing anything while eating right. Being monitored by the doctor.
That's always smart.
But again, the thing is there's a lot of things that can impact our weight loss. I know I eat really, really well, but if I'm never sleeping, that's going to impact my weight. You can actually gain weight from not sleeping.
Do you know that I have gained weight across the day because I spent an entire evening crying about how I have not had success? Like literal tears, complete red face, like where my eyeballs hurt, my cheeks hurt because I had cried in frustration. And then to get on the scale the next day thinking like, I have got to have at least lost water because I've cried so much in frustration over the situation on the scale. Get on the scale, up in weight. Because I added frustration, because stress doesn't weigh nothing. It weighs on the scale. It shows on the scale.
Right.
Yep.
Bonnie said, I don't have a gallbladder. I've been doing ketovore since July of 2021, and I went from 210 down to 168. My A1C from 7.1 to 5.6.
Yes.
I love Joe and Rachel. They have helped me on this journey.
Bonnie, I'm so stinking proud of you, young lady. That is fantastic. And thanks for kind of saying, you've been doing this without a gallbladder, because if you're looking for testimonies that it's worked within a person's situation that's had it, then you've just made yourself a resource to other people, because we have gallbladders. Therefore, I can't tell you what it feels like to do keto without a gallbladder. But there are people in our Facebook family group who are doing keto without a gallbladder. And if you don't mind making yourself available to other people, say like, hey, no gallbladder here, go ahead and post that in the Two Crazy Ketos group and say, hey, if you need some advice, I'm living this same circumstance and this is what I do.
Yeah. Maja?
Hey, Maja.
Said, I've been advised to have a lot more salt than I thought possible to consume. After 2.5 weeks or 2+ weeks, I can sure tell I was missing out on no plain water at all with red beans or Element.
It makes a huge difference.
Again, not doctors or nurses, but it's really hard to overconsume salt as so long as you're drinking fluids. Your body is going to get rid of excess salt.
It's going to pee
and
it
it gets
out.
to the point where your body's like, ew, that's way too salty. Like if you're doing keto for an extended period of time and you're used to having a lot of salt and all of a sudden something's way too salty, yeah, you've probably had enough salt for the day.
It reminds me, the most connection that I can make to it is when I was pregnant and I would really want a certain thing, whatever that thing was that I wanted to eat. A lot of times with Caleb, it was lemons. I don't know why, but I wanted something super sour. And it would be like, I'd be so excited and I'd buy a whole ton of it thinking like, this craving is so powerful. I need to make sure there's 50 lemons in my refrigerator because I'm gonna want this so much. And then I would consume what I wanted, and then you would go back again and be like, okay, more of it. And you're like, no, I don't want this. Wait. Why did I ever think I want this, right? That's kind of how you feel. Like you feel a real shutoff valve happen when you've hit enough salt. And it just turns off and you're like, I just don't want anymore.
By the way, I just saw that Quest cookie comment. Quest cookies are not horrible as far as ingredients. Like Quest has come a long way with their ingredients.
Yes, they have.
I will say that. Like the Quest peanut butter cups, I will actually say I think they're one of the better like chocolate kind of peanut butter cups on the market that are keto friendly.
We've done a review on them.
I think we've done a review on them.
Pretty sure.
I mean, please don't buy those Reese's piece of garbage zero sugar
Don't
cups.
say any bad words.
But they've come a long way. But again, it comes down to if you're going to eat 10 of those Quest cookies a day, then they're not keto for you.
Yeah.
You have to look at, are you on the road? Are you on a vacation? Like, we made the decision that, you know what? School is about to get out here in Florida.
Yes, it is.
Which means the theme parks are about to get busy.
Very.
So Friday, the boys are actually going out and hanging out together. So we are going to Thursday night, go up to Orlando, and we're going to go to the water park on Friday before the kids get out of school, before it's really busy.
We're going to race them.
So we'll be doing, by the way, our Thursday live stream from a hotel room on Thursday. Just letting you guys know
Probably
about that.
going to be a yellow wall again.
No, we're not staying there.
Okay.
But the thing about that is if we're on vacation, I may say, you know what? I'm going to have a Quest cookie. I don't have a microwave at home, or I don't have something where I could make, I'm not bringing my creamy with me to the hotel, you know? So there's fine. But if I need to have one every day, you may want to take a step back. There's times where keto chow is not keto for me. Oh my gosh. Did I really say that?
That can't be true.
If I can't go a day without having an ice cream, even if it's from keto chow with good ingredients, I need to look at myself. I need to go like, hey, let me put it back in its place. I love keto chow. It's got really good ingredients, but there should be, other than just flat out beef, right? There should be nothing that I can't live without. Right?
Right.
If I can't live without it, other than water and just flat out beef, we have an issue.
Right.
If
I can't have a day,
have variety.
I cannot go to bed unless I've had ice cream.
Little Mama said, maintenance phase is kind of a bummer because I am a 0 to 10 carbs a day. I have set mini goals to keep the excitement. Your challenges really help me with this.
Well, we are actually going to be, spoiler alert, we're going to be sharing the challenge for June on the Wednesday night Atomic Habits book study. So that's going to be the first look at what we're going to be doing in June, because it is going to be kind of paired with what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday night. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think this challenge is going to really help somebody be successful. I really, truly believe that this is going to be a powerful challenge for somebody, me included.
Okay, we are going to get off. Rachel has a dentist appointment today, and I have to go to Apple, and hopefully her computer is repaired.
I hope so. We've
Guys,
just been visiting it.
Thank you very much for joining us. Again, Wednesday night, 5 p.m., Atomic Habits with Rachel. Thursday night live stream, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Everybody have a great day.
We love
Bye.
you.